Hello everyone, it is siu-yee. Welcome back to my channel. I make videos about physical and financial fitness for millennials, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Today I wanted to show you a quick and easy biscuit recipe that I actually make using shortening and water as replacements for butter and milk. It has very few ingredients. If you're on a budget, this is a great recipe if you want delicious biscuits quickly and easily, and this doesn't really require any special equipment. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Let's get started. I'm gonna use my cutting board to do some of the mixing and cutting. I may or may not have left a pot with some oil inside it, heating up for too long. Perhaps smoke started coming out, and perhaps I may have laid it down on my cutting board. I may or may not have accidentally burned my cutting board in doing so. I was making popcorn. Let's just ignore that. Anyway, now I am following a recipe online that uses shortening and milk, so I'm just gonna replace the milk with water. Really, I just want something to base the ratios off of because I'm not exactly certain of that. Sometimes you can eyeball things, but with baking, you really don't want to do that, as I learned with the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies I made a few weeks ago. I will link that recipe in the description below if you're interested. This recipe also uses white sugar, and I'm going to omit that because I want to be able to use these biscuits for like a savory meal as well. So I'm going to be using all-purpose flour right here, some Crisco vegetable shortening. This is obviously not sponsored, but I just discovered the wonders of Crisco, so I'm gonna use it. And salt and baking powder. I will add water when it's called for. I have my bowl to mix with, and I think this recipe calls for using your hands, so make sure that they're clean. Obviously, there are so many guidelines about how to wash your hands that I'm sure you can find a way to do it properly. I'm gonna be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Of course, you will be needing some measuring cups and measuring spoons. You can't see anything I'm doing, can you? 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Please tell me it was baking powder. Okay, thank God. We're fine, everything's fine. 1 teaspoon of salt. And now I'm just going to whisk it together. Now I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of shortening. There's a bit of a gap in here, so this should be enough. Now the shortening just needs to be cut into the flour mixture so that it gets super nice and crumbly. This resembles a course meal now, I would say. So I'm going to add 1 cup of water to this. Okay. Adding it in slowly, and the recipe says to stir it in until the dough starts pulling away from the sides of the bowl, and it seems to be doing that. Maybe I should have made more. It smells good. Honestly, I like the biscuits with butter, but mixing vegetable shortening into flour is so much easier than trying to mix in butter, especially if you haven't left it out to warm for a little while. I'm just gonna reserve the little bit of water I have left for later in case I need it. I'm gonna flour my surface. The recipe says to knead it 15 to 20 times. We're just gonna be folding this and kneading. The first time I ever made biscuits, I used a recipe from Molly Boss from Bon Appetit, which was one of the few sources of joy I had in quarantine until they were exposed because they didn't pay any food editors or assistant food editors of color for their video appearances, which is pretty embarrassing, especially since it's such a big company. But Molly Boz is one of my favorite food editors there, and she posted a biscuit recipe made with butter, scallions, I forget what else, but it's really good. And they came out delicious. So then that's why I started looking up other biscuit recipes that were simpler, especially if you didn't have all of the ingredients. Making biscuits, it's kind of magical. They just rise so well, they taste so good, and there's really not that much effort that goes into it. folding it this much is what's gonna give it all those yummy layers. This is like much less intense than making a croissant. I'm very much here for it. This doesn't take 3 days to make. You don't have to measure out triangles. But of course, nothing can really match up to a croissant. If you just want something buttery with a lot of layers, biscuits are definitely it. I actually haven't been counting how many times I've been folding, so yeah. I think this is gonna be one of my last folds, and then I'm gonna start cutting out the biscuits. I'm gonna do circles today. Otherwise, you can just like literally cut these into squares, and that would also work. Make these like a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, I'm gonna start preheating my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't have cookie cutters, so I will be using a cup to actually cut the biscuits. Just gonna flour this. It's not that sticky, but just in case. I have a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and then I'm just gonna set these down here. They're gorgeous. And now I'm just going to fold this over again a few more times so that I can get more biscuits from this dough. I've never done a Crisco egg wash before, but I'm gonna see if it does anything just so I can find out. I don't think this needs an egg wash. I think they're gonna be great without one anyway, but I just wanna see if it gets a little bit more golden if I do just wash it with some extra like oil on the top. Right on the top. This may not make a difference. Oven has preheated, so I'm just gonna put these babies in and hopefully they rise and taste amazing. Hi, first of all, clearly need to clean my oven a bit. I feel like this could be a good like mirror pick spot, except instead of a mirror pick, it's like an oven pick. But anyway, here are the biscuits. Do you see that rise action? These are gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. Percy's excited. I'm on my little stool. I have my slippers on. It's a very good time. Okay, these are the finished biscuits. I may have overcooked them a little bit, but I'm going to try them out first. All right, I just put some jelly on this one, so it's like savory and sweet. It looks really soft inside too. I'm gonna try it. It's so good. It's honestly so soft inside. It's going to be a struggle not to finish all of this. I'm gonna have all of this for me. I might share it. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you try out this recipe, maybe modify it to your own taste. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you have any favorite recipes for biscuits, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video.